Ruben, in difficult circumstances, in a difficult context, what did you make of what your players gave you? The ones you did have?
I think we divide the game. We create some chances. In the end, they score. We didn't, and that was the big difference in the game. So in the end, you can look at the game and you feel that it was an entertained game because a lot of chances. But in the end, the difference was that they scored one and we didn't.
We'll get back to Ruben Amorim in just a quick second, but remember, if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe, and also don't forget to click the notification button so that you know when the next Big D video hits. And don't forget, if you've got something to say, if something is on your mind, or if something's bubbling up inside of you that you need to express, the comment section is for you. I read all of the comments, and I really enjoy hearing, or reading in this instance, what you've got to say. So please express yourself. In this clip, we're going to be hearing from our illustrious manager, Ruben Amorim, after Manchester United's disastrous loss to Tottenham Hotspur. Stick around for after the comments, because the Big D is going to be giving his thoughts on this whole situation. Anyway, without no further ado, here he is, Ruben Amorim.
Yeah, so what's that down to? A forward line, Zirkzee, Højlund, Garnacho had plenty of chances. Just, to pick out those three guys, short of confidence, short of belief?
The first step is to create situation. We had some games that we are around the box, but we don't create situations. Today we created situation, but in the end, in this kind of games, with two teams struggling for 4 points, one goal makes all the difference. Even to try to play the game after the goal, and that was the biggest difference. We had two chances before, Garnacho again, and then we didn't score. They scored. That was the biggest difference.
So with the injuries and illnesses you had, just tell us sort of tactically in terms of your setup, how you tried to solve the problems that gave you. But particularly interested in Zirkzee, who was very central, and maybe that's a reaction to what happened with him against Newcastle.
Also that, but you start with one idea. We were asking about a long week for so long, and then we start with one idea to face the next game, to work in our principles, and then day after day you are losing players that change your approach to the game. I couldn't not play the same way with Josh, with like a player like Ahmad. So we need to try to be comfortable, especially with the ball. My worry is more that when we win the ball, we are in the good position to play football. So I think that was the idea, to put him more in the central area.
Is the knock-on effect of that, it then gives Bruno Fernandes an awful lot of work to do, and maybe he's then so exhausted, he's not maybe as able to then help you creatively?
Yeah, because sometimes you want Bruno to reach the ball a little bit in the build-up, because he's really, really good to switch off play. And some games we need it. And today you see it that we try it a lot to switch off play to open the space. But then you want Bruno also to press, and then it's really hard. And then when you are changing all the time to try to adapt the players to the way we want to play without a base, it's really hard. But I think the difference today was like they scored one and we didn't.
When you're having, you have all these injuries and illnesses, and it sounds like you're having to change your game plan almost every day. Any thought given to just, do you know what, we're just 4-4-2, we'll sit in a low block and do something completely different today?
Yeah, 4-4-2 in the low block is harder to play against this team than what we did today. That is my feeling, because they are really open, put a lot of layers inside, so they will stretch our team, and then Maguire has to do longer meters, long space to cover. So I'm also what you see, guys, and why you discussed every week. I also see. So I have my idea, you have yours. I have a lot of problems. My job is so hard, but I'm here to continue my job to the next week with my beliefs. I will try to do it and try to win again.
Like you say, you have got a very hard job. How difficult was it to affect the match during the match today with a very young bench? You made one substitution at the end. Could you have used any of those young players earlier? Or those guys, 17, 18, 19, not quite ready for that yet?
They will play. They will play during this season. We will have games for the Cup and for Europe. They will play. If not, I'm going to get more injuries and we will not have players to play. So we are in a difficult situation. We have two more competitions. Today they could go in the game, but I feel it. I think everybody feel it that we were near the goal. I don't want to change when I feel the team is in a good moment. So was just a tactical aspect.
Yeah, and lastly, you said one of your earlier answers, it's a hard job. You've said before, we're going to have to suffer. We're going to live through a storm. Did you ever expect it to be this difficult, though?
No, but you grow and you learn a lot of things. So we just need to face and not run away. So that is clearly my feeling. And the good thing in football is that we will start a week again. Today will hurt. It's a tough pain to lose so many games, but then you can change everything in the next week. That's our goal.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
How do you assess the performance? Were you pleased with the effort, but not pleased with failing to score again?
No, I think the big difference was the goal they scored. We didn't score. We had the chances. We tried a different approach with the players that we had. We had to change during the week, and I'm really pleased with the effort and the way they challenged Tottenham. We create situations. So in the end, I think the biggest difference was that they score and we didn't.
Just on the injured players, which ones do you think could be available for the next game?
It's hard to know. It's hard to know. Let's wait a few more days. I think Lenny and Chris they were sick, so they will recover. Of course, Chris has the heart situation, and we have to be really careful with that. It's nothing about the heart. I'm just saying the heart rate has to be controlled because he has fever. It's just sorry guys about the situation. So I think they will recover that, and the rest we will see. I think Kobe is out. Ahmad is out for sure. I think until the end of the season we'll see the rest.
With Kobe, is that case months, weeks?
I don't know. Let's see. I think weeks.
Laurie.
Ruben, could anything have been done regarding his injuries, do you think, differently, or just a case of bad luck?
No, I think is everything together. Ahmad was alone. He was doing a tackle. The feet was stick in the grass. Some players felt during training sickness. So is everything. We try everything to have the players fit. We always talk about my changes game by game to try to have the players fit. And then I was always asking for 1 week. In 1 week, we lost so many players. So sometimes we have one moment that everything is going wrong.
Just on the substitutes, Chido coming off the bench, why was that? Was there any thought you could maybe bring on players?
I think if you see Chido playing, sometimes every ball lost in the box is very clever. So I was trying to put one more player because I felt the team was good during the game, and I don't feel the need to change. And then Chido was like that player. One long ball, he could make the difference.
John.
In the first half, you obviously have chances overall, but in the first half, Garnacho, when he puts it over, you can see your frustration in the touchline. What's going through?
No, you want to score. Yeah, you want to score, and we want them to score. And sometimes in these moments, you feel a little bit frustrated because that can change a game. So that's all. But then after 2 seconds, I'm just focused on helping them to play football.
You 15. Nothing's changed dramatically. But is it a frustration that you've not been able to make more of the effect?
Of course, every day for us, for our fans. But we need to stop focusing on the big picture. It's not the moment to do that. Just focus on the next game. Let's do everything to win some games to finish the season, and then think in the big picture. In this moment, is just to try to stay with the players healthy, to recover some players, and focus on what we have to do in the next game, and that is our goal.
Miguel.
Just on that, and all of these circumstances, how do you view this season? Do you have to kind of write it off and just use it as preparation for the future?
No, in this moment is more than that. The idea, the system in this moment is like survive, is to think in the small things, to improve the small things from this game for the next game, and not even look at the table, the schedule, nothing of that. Of course, I have to, because we'll have a lot of games. We have 3 competitions with a small squad in the moment. That part is my part, but the players, everyone in Carrington, just focus on the next game, the next training, and that is our goal.
Chris.
It's a big concern for you, though, that you are losing some really key players for an important part of the season. It felt like with Mount and Shaw coming back, that you were on the cusp of having players back, and suddenly it seems to have had a huge backward step.
Of course, if you look even with the problem that we had with Luke, you look at the squad in the beginning of this week, with time to train, and then day by day we are losing players. But I don't want to use that as excuse. Every coach in the world now is suffering with that. Sometimes these moments, again, everything goes wrong, and we have to face the challenge and to focus on the next game, and that's all.
Last question.
Ruben, I thought Joshua Xerxes was very good today, and Dorgu as well. What did you make of their performance?
I think Josh is not a clear 9. He played more as a 10. He's stronger physically. He's thinner. So he's working really hard, and he play in a better position for him. And he's improving. He's winning more duels, and is even faster. And you feel it in the game, and that helps us to make the decision. And Dorgu, the way Tottenham press really high, sometimes you have more time to think than in the other games. He play on the left also. Maybe he will help, but he has experience to play left and right. So Dorgu will improve a lot, and Josh the same thing.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. I mean, he hit the nail on the head there, basically. He was saying that, the difference was we didn't take our chances. And that's it. There's no need for any real over-analysis of the game. We just didn't score any goals. They had one big chance. They scored. They won. We had the chances, but when you've got a team that doesn't have a goal scorer, it's going to be very difficult for them to score goals. Alex Ferguson used to say, defences win you titles and your attack wins you games. Clearly, they go hand in hand. And unfortunately for Manchester United, we just don't have a goal scorer. That's it. It's not rocket science. It's football. It's 11 men versus 11 men on a nice grassy pitch, kicking a ball into each other's net. They took their chance. They won. We didn't take our chance. We lost. That's it. But Ruben Amorim, I mean, two minds with the guy, to be honest. I mean, I don't want to see him get sacked. I want him to be backed, and I want him to be able to build a Ruben Amorim team. Because, sick of the merry-go-round. I mean, who are we going to get in? I mean, Zidane's not going to come. Ancelotti's not going to come. We don't have the squad for those kinds of guys. But if Ruben Amorim is allowed to build the team that he wants to build, then maybe we'll see some. But then again, we tried that with Ten Hag too, and that didn't really turn out. Although Ten Hag, for most of his time at Man United, he didn't have a sporting programme supporting him to sort of save him from himself, which is why we overpaid for Anthony, and we overpaid for Casemiro, and we got Højlund without getting a season goal scorer and all that good stuff. Anyway, but yeah, I'm in two minds with Ruben Amorim, and I have been since day one, really. I mean, I've said since day one, Ruben Amorim has shown a bit of naivety in sticking to his guns in such a young guns, cowboy, blazing way, and not changing. I mean, you can respect it, but at the same time, you're like, because it's dependent. If he's going to stick to his guns, it's dependent on two things. It's dependent on one, whether or not he's already got the players, or two, he's going to get enough time and money to be able to build the team that he wants. Now, if results keep on going the way that they are going, Manchester United are going to be in a relegation battle. And that's not good for this Project 21. What is it? We've got to win the league by 2028. I mean, it is doable. To be fair, it is doable. You know, one goal scorer transforms this team. A couple of astute signings. You know, it's a different kettle of fish. And then all of a sudden the team gets confidence and then they, you know, rise up the table and whatnot. But since day one, I've said what he should have done was slowly phase in his fancy pants system. And I like his system, I do. I have seen some instances where he's got them purring a little bit. I mean, even against Spurs, there were some moments there where I quite enjoyed it. I enjoyed the game. There were some nice moments, but just couldn't score. And he's kind of shot himself in the foot with Marcus Rashford, because out of all the players who play up front, he was the one that actually looked the sharpest up front. Unfortunately, well, we've talked about Marcus Rashford enough. He wasn't living up to the standards in training and whatnot. But I don't know. I think there was a more nuanced approach that Ruben Amorim could have taken. You know, slowly phase it in, this new system, keep Ruud van Nistelrooy as an assistant until the end of the season, and then, you know, that at least gets you to the summer, and you've got the summer to coach them properly. You know, or even, well, I mean, I'm saying this about Ruben Amorim, but Ineos are going to know how he wants to play. And I read that they looked at bringing him in the summer anyway, last summer, but the reason why they didn't, and they stuck with Ten Hag, is because they didn't feel as though we had the squad that could play his very specific system. Yet they get rid of Ten Hag and then they hire him anyway. So it's just... So is it Ineos' fault? And if things keep on getting worse and they sack Amorim, I mean, whose fault is it going to be? Is it going to be Amorim's fault, or is it going to be Ineos' fault? I mean, I don't bear any ill will towards Ruben Amorim at all. I kind of like the guy, to be honest. But it's a tough situation for him. I hope he's able to do something to get that team firing. I can't see how he's going to do it without changing formation, but he's already said he's not going to do that. And plus also, let's say, you know, even if he did go back to, say, 4-2-3-1, I mean, he sold Rashford. So if he played in the low block and played on the counter-attack, you know, he's sold his most potent counter-attacking weapon. So, or at the very least, he's loaned him out. So he's knackered now. He's going to have to, you know, stick to his guns and, you know, keep on doing what he's doing. But the way he keeps on doing what he's doing is United keep on getting beat. So, yeah, so half of me is like, well, Ruben, you know, you've boxed yourself into a corner here, pal. How are you going to get out of it? And managers live and die by their decisions and their ability to adapt. It's a tough one. But again, at the same time, you know, he's taken a tough stance and he's indicated specifically this is what he wants. This is how he wants the team to play, which is also admirable. Because Alex Ferguson did the same thing when he first turned up at Man United, and it took him a few years to sort of get the team purring. So, are Ineos going to stick to their guns and back the guy that is their guy? Because Ten Hag wasn't their guy. They kind of reluctantly kept him on. But Ruben Amorim is their guy. So are they going to... I mean, how far are they going to back him? Because if things keep on getting worse, are they going to back him to the point where United get relegated? Because, I mean... Or are they going to leave it until the last 5 games of the season, then sack him, and then get in, I don't know, Michael Carrick, wherever he's at these days. I don't even know where he's at. And then go back to 4-2-3-1, and then get to the summer, having barely scraped surviving from relegation, and then all of a sudden they've got another rebuild and another manager to find, and all of this. I mean, it's just chaos. An absolute circus clown show. But then again, as I've said on the previous couple of videos, the Tottenham match was all right. We played quite well, we just couldn't score goals. So, mixed emotions from the Big D. Mixed emotions. Also because it's been a very busy night. This is the 3rd video I've made tonight. Churning them out. Lot on my mind. Lot of feelings churning and bubbling around inside of me that I just need to express. And I'm sure you United viewers feel a little bit the same as well. But Ruben Amorim, I mean, there's no other options that he's got up front that can score him goals, really. I mean, if I put myself in his shoes, I would probably continue with the setup that is used for Spurs moving on. Because at the very least, let's get Dorgu up and running. And the team gets used to having an actual left fullback, or left wing back even. So they've got a team that's got a bit of width, and you've got a player there that can whip a ball in, and then maybe, just maybe, Højlund can sort of develop some kind of relationship with the guy so that he knows when the cross is coming in, and then he can score a couple of goals. Because you can't just keep on chopping and changing all the time. The players need to get used to a system. They need to get used to the players around them, and they need to understand timing and teamwork and intricate play and all that good stuff. Because it's Højlund that we need to step up to score the goals, because that's why he was bought. He was bought to score goals, and there was a couple of times against Spurs where he's a bit too deep in his own half, and I can't help but think of the late great Brian Clough. It's like, bought you to score goals, young man. What are you doing back there? Get up front. Just stay on the halfway line, or just stay on the last defender, so that when Bruno or Dorgu or Dalot or Xerxes or whoever's got the ball can just slip you in on the counter. Because this team can play on the counter, this formation even. Tactic, style, whatever. It can play on the counter. So there's a lot of positioning there from Rasmus. I really want to see Rasmus Højlund do well. I really do. Because he's shown flashes of class. He's shown flashes of the player that he could be. He's got the physical ability. And he has the goal-scoring ability. He's just not merging that with the positional sense at the moment. But who knows what's going to happen? Who knows? Who knows? What do you guys think? What does Ruben Amorim need to do to get this team firing? Do you have any ideas? Because I'm short on ideas. Because then maybe, if we've got some ideas, maybe we can tweet Manchester United and say, you know, Man United need pass this on to Ruben. Man United need to do this, and this. And then we can score some goals. And then we can climb the table. And then, you know, YouTubers like me, annoying YouTubers like me, can, you know, talk about something positive for a change. But anyway, let's see what happens. But as ever, if you've reached this far into my video, I do appreciate you. Thank you for your time. It means a lot. Because of that, I want to know what's on your mind. Please do put your thoughts in the comments. I read all of the comments. Hopefully, in the next video, we get to talk about something a little bit more positive. Anyway, see you in the next one.